Well, hello guys, welcome back. I'm ImperialJedi, and my goodness gracious me, it has definitely been a while since we've last hung out, but you know what they say, absence, it does make the heart grow fonder, and here we are, hopefully missing each other enough that maybe the time in between doesn't even feel like it's that long. I kind of like that feeling, you know, when you're maybe just like haven't talked to a friend in a while, and you suddenly call them up, and it's like months have gone by, and you start chatting, or even like you hang out face to face, and all of a sudden, just the time in between just melts away. I like that feeling a lot, and I'm kind of hoping that's maybe happening right now. But, you know, I was kind of busy working on just some other projects, and just, like, real-life work has been, like, super, super busy. Kind of the busy season right now, I guess you can put it. And, yeah, I was kind of just spending a lot of my gaming time working on that City Skylines time-lapse, build-lapse kind of project, which was a lot of fun, but just something I kind of, like, wanted to do. I've been wanting to make one of those for a while. And very, very time-consuming. But, like, yeah, we're back in the city. I mean, it's great. Totally forgot how big it was, too. It's really crazy, too, is, like, with the city I was building for the time-lapse, I was using, I think, honestly, like, maybe 11 or 1,200 assets, which is, like, absolutely bonkers. Like, totally, like, what am I doing with my life? Bonkers, you know what I mean? And then I know some of you maybe even use more, which is even more crazy. Holy smokes. And then I had, I think, 52 mods total, so quite a few running. And to say the least, it definitely slowed my computer down. So I almost forgot how great the base game runs. Very smooth. So this is a nice little surprise for me. That's kind of why I'm panning around so much right here. I'm just actually very pleasantly surprised at how smooth the game is running. But yeah, so big news for the game. There is a new DLC coming out. It's the Mass Transportation DLC. Comes out, I believe, the 18th of May. So not too long from now. And I was kind of thinking that what we could do is maybe get the city ready for that, because I'm definitely going to be getting the DLC. There's no way I'm skipping this one. And what's really cool is we're going to be getting some new forms of public transportation, obviously with the name. One of them being in-town ferries that you could use. So we can have some ferries go up and down the river, maybe connect to the region, if that's possible. Oh, no, I don't think we can, actually, because we weren't able to bring shipping in here. So what we could do is have a river crossing with ferries. And then what's really neat is if we use our wide canals, these guys right here, which we're planning on using for the university, we could have ferries go up them. So we can have a nice kind of U-shaped canal network here with some roads and stuff. So that's what I think we could do for this episode. Had a lot of talk about wanting to cross over the river. We've been wanting to do that for a while. But before I do, I just want to drop one more little comment over here. So I remember we were kind of talking about this zone just in and around the last episode. And just based on the comments, I think what we're going to end up doing, because it's, you know, maybe isn't the most practical thing to have like a mountaintop launch pad for our shuttle. So what we could do is when we get the population a little bit higher and we, like, in air quotes, unlock the oh goodness, are we out of water here? Yes, we are. Oh, it's sewage and water. Yeah, so when we unlock the power is our issue, or what's going on here? It says we have enough. Anyway, when we unlock, let me finish my sentence here. Unlock the airport. What I want to do is have a little site set up for the launch pad. Because I think in real life you would need like hangars and, you know, that kind of stuff anyway, right? And I've been saying forever that this is just temporary, and it still kind of is just temporary. So let's drop these here for the moment. Might not be able to get that one though. And just because of the way the current is set up, I don't necessarily want to put those upstream, so maybe just drop a couple right here really quickly. Get a little bit of power going. But yeah, what I think we could do is set up a like a little, like, yeah, a starter part over here for our university. So let's stretch across one of the roads first. And I think I'm going to continue. I know we have some bus lanes here. I think I'm actually going to continue with bike lanes the whole way across here. And I don't want that to be too steep just because of the whole bike lane. So I think that's good. And then I'm going to hope for the right height on the other side. Oh, that's not so bad. Look at that. Nice and even Steven, too. Okay, so that was actually like way easier than I thought. Now, I think given the space, what we could do, because I do want to have a few more bridges come across, right? Like, for sure we want to bring the trams across, so let's just do that really quickly so we can visualize this. Right, okay, that's cool. And then we could have a tram road that goes and say like an angle like this. I like the idea of that. Kind of works well with the coastline. And that'll get away from just maybe having the same kind of box shape happening over here. The whole city will just be on a bit of a different slant, but still kind of gridded out, so I think it'll look kind of cool. So continue with this. And then hypothetically what we could have is a split like that. There we go. Probably have to end up moving the train tracks here a little bit, which is totally no problem. Okay, now how far are we going here? Tell you what, I do miss some of the mods. I forgot I need to do something like this before. Okay, so what are we doing here? It's about 20 units, 30, 40 units. What is that, 40? Yeah. My math is correct. Those would be by 10. I think that's 4 blocks. I think. Okay, so that would make that even. Great. And I would like to go up by that much. Perfect. No, I need one more. So I'm going to bring the trains in at a different angle. I'm going to have them kind of scoop across like this. So I'm just going to pause that because it's going to cause a little bit of a headache. And that's probably not going to be the final resting spot for the trains. It's just a little bit of a temporary move right now. And when you're doing this kind of stuff, you want to be really careful, because if I delete this section... Oh, good, the game's being nice and won't let me do it. But let's say, for example, that spilled over a little bit too close or into the zone that we haven't purchased. If you aren't able to purchase at any point, or say it's like past your, past your city line, you're going to be stuck. You're going to have to use some mods or something, or like restart your city, which is pretty unfortunate. So just a friendly heads up, be careful for that. Right, so I want it to be kind of symmetrical, but at the same time, like, probably going to be changing it. So I'm just going to make that a little bit of a faster, just kind of drop. Like that I will change, because that stuff drives me bonkers. There we go, that's nice. A little bit of a sharp bend there, but again, it's just temporary. We'll change it. Gotta get the canals and stuff in here too. Okay, so put this back on. But what I was thinking of doing was making our university/canal thing kind of go in through here, and just kind of make like a loop of the city. But I want the canal to be a little bit wide. So maybe have it on the outside of this. Make like a smaller campus. Yeah, that's a cool idea. Okay, so let's box this in. And then let's put a canal around here, and then we'll put some bridges and stuff for, just so we can get the boats still through. Okay, this is where it's going to get challenging. Can we get this to line up the way we want to? It'd be kind of nice to get some buildings, but I want a snap point. Oh my goodness. What are we doing to ourselves here? Well, I guess if we give ourselves some tiles to work with, just on both sides, that'll make things pretty easy. Okay. Oh, but you know what? It'd be nice to still see them, but we get the snap points. See over here, it's all just freeform, and over here it's a snap point. So some semblance of order. Yeah, I'm just gonna ballpark and try to get both of these sides to be about even. But that's more or less what I'm going for, just something like this, and then we're gonna kind of make a U shape around around here. And I'm going to just drop that down, and we'll click over here, and we'll just take a look visually and see if the tiles look like they match up. So it's 3 and 3. That's perfect. Exactly what we're after. How about that? Normally we don't get too lucky like this. You can also see why it's important to make sure that the current and stuff's going the right way. So we don't just fill this up with, like, sewage. That would not be a nice little canal. Okay, right, so this is going to be a bridge. Let's just get rid of that. great. That's in the water. Perfect. That'd be kind of fun, right? So we could even maybe use one of these little open spaces here, because you know we do have to move all these water pumps and the like the wind turbines and stuff, right? We have to bring the rails across too. Can't forget about that. Goodness gracious me, that's a curveball. Oh, no, you know what we could do is have one of the rails go into the campus and end, and have one hit the bank, go across, and then follow the riverbank up, and then meet up over here. Yeah, I like the idea of that. That's cool. And then we'll bring this across too, even. All right, it's all coming together. Okay, step by step here. You can tell my mentality for building right now has changed a little bit, because I'm thinking more of with the time-lapse city, where I'm trying to like build everywhere at once and not really focus on any one spot. That's why I keep kind of dancing around here, but I'm gonna try and keep us over here. Now I think, just for like logical sake, we're gonna have to elevate the bridge just so that we can get a ferry through here. I imagine they're gonna do like one of those like river cruise style ships. I think I've seen the model already, but I can't quite picture it in my head. But I think it's a little bit of a lower design, so we might be able to get away with even like that as the necessary height. I'm just not looking to make it too steep, because then that looks a little silly in my mind. Now here's a question: why is that crooked? This game does not like me sometimes. Let me get a little bit closer. Come on. I'm getting like conflicting snap points just because of the canal, obviously. I was like, what is this thing? I'm like, that's crooked, you know? Well, what if we try something like this? Sorry guys, I don't mean to get so bogged down on like this little thing. Oh, and if I could just share some plans with you guys too. What I'm going to be doing, just because the you know, the DLC is coming out soon, a lot of hype with the game and all that other fun stuff. I'm going to be doing another kind of like a redo of my original Let's Play. And with that one, I did eventually end up using some mods, so I'm pretty sure I'm just going to start with like a modded series, more or less. So we'll still continue with this. I still have another series on the go, like the vanilla series. I'm still going to continue with that one too. But I just want to redo like my original... Why are we getting this so crooked? I'm going to change this. And just because this looks straight in my mind. I don't know why it's not going over there. So yeah, in the next week or two, I'm going to start recording some new episodes. I'm probably going to do a bit of bulk recording. And I'm going to try and maybe time the launch just to be a little bit closer to when the DLC comes out. And I've got to close off these canals, otherwise we're going to end up flooding our entire area here. Totally forgot about that. Okay, so let's make this a closed system. Oh, I think that's crooked. Let's go a little bit too far, and then we'll just back away the extra. Now, theoretically, this should fix the issue. I think part of it also might stem with the fact that there was a little bit of a downhill dip. You can even see when we get kind of at this level. Things just kind of go towards that spot. But I think this should settle it. These are pretty deep canals, right? I cannot get over how smooth the game runs. Oh my goodness gracious me. I'm used to like half these frames or less. Oh no, highway traffic. It is completely stopped. It looks like, luckily though, that... oh no, you silly people. Suicidal maniacs. But yeah, worst case, if this doesn't settle, what we could do, we'd have a few options, would be to put in some water pumps, which I know is kind of silly, but we could do that. Or what we could do is put up a seawall. But I'm going to let this sit for like 3 or 4 minutes, because I think it's just the water just kind of balancing itself out still versus anything else. So I'm not overly stressed about that. It's just visually it's going to be a little distracting. Let's get on with it. Oh, and I've also been just accumulating just other games and game suggestions. So I'm gonna be just kind of going full force with a whole bunch of other games just in the near, you know, the short run. So if you guys have any other game suggestions, totally just drop me a line. Always looking for some new stuff to play. And this will always, like forever and always be playing this game. Especially if they keep releasing more DLC. Holy smokes, so excited for this, guys. I feel like this bridge is taller than the other bridge. Yeah, it definitely is. I don't know which one I like more. Well, worry about shrinking that down maybe once we buy the next tile over. And I'm curious to see if this water is gonna solve itself. I think so, because it looks like the flow is kind of starting to slow down, at least on this side. Because oh goodness gracious me, I was gonna say our last option would be to like have a spillover lake, but no, that's silly talk. Just let this work. But it's like disrupting our highways, right? So it's kind of affecting our city now. Now what we could do is delete the canals, level the terrain, and then put everything back in. But I still think it's a matter of just letting this run for a few more minutes. Because the water physics are pretty bonkers sometimes when you're making big changes. And then luckily 3-speed still is working for us. Okay, so let's go back to our just kind of campus layout design here. So what I had in mind was maybe like a main street that would go in, kind of have like a little squared off middle perimeter, have like our university campus-y buildings there, have a little bit of student housing and stuff on the outskirts, and then some shopping and stuff. And then some like planned residential communities nearby to make the area feel very just cozy and friendly. Okay, so maybe some one-way roads just for a little bit of difference sake. Maybe even use the tree-lined ones. And then I would like to have kind of like a little transit corridor access this spot as well. Oh, too close. Forgot, no mods. Yeah, so maybe we could bring in, not like per se like bus lanes, but just something. So let's put that on the back burner just in terms of the thought process. But we want to have, yeah, a lot of public transit come through here. Because, you know, students not necessarily known to be extravagantly rich, right? So I'm not expecting everyone to be driving cars and stuff. See, I like this as an approach. I think just visually looks kind of nice. Sometimes you got to play around and get like the concrete to kind of work in your favor. And this may not maybe even be the best just because we're a little bit off center. I may actually just try that one more time. I'm not sure if it's because we're using the 3-lane road here. I wonder if this looks a bit better. I don't really want to lose that extra. But yeah, I think you kind of get the general idea. But you know, if we're going to be like lining this up for like screenshots and stuff, I would like that to look a little bit more proper. But the concept is there. Yeah, that's for sure. Oopsies. There's even. No, it's not. That's better. Okay, let's open this back up. Get the extra lane. I'd say that's way better. Oh my gosh, yes. Much better. A little bit of a wider opening, which is totally fine. You can do some trees and stuff down there. Okay, so let's get this going. The right directions. And then, yeah, this would just go in, say like that. And then we'd have a, like an avenue or something. Just, you know, connect to the parking lots, connect to the campus buildings, like that kind of stuff. Although I think we'd have a bike lane on that. If I know our students, and I think I do. Hopefully I do. And again, we could have leveled the terrain because you get this kind of stuff where like the intersections are a little different in height. Actually, yeah, you know what? Let's because that might actually end up bugging me. Those are the kind of things that are a little bit of my pet peeves. I'm sure you guys know this by now. So we can use the level tool like this. I know you guys think I have a very strange approach for doing my terrain stuff, which I do. I guess I'm kind of like unique in that sense. But I usually use this one here a lot. So I'll right click just so I can set the height, and then when you just, you know, left click and drag, it just kind of makes everything that height. See the same thing I do over here, right? And so this is what I was thinking of having to do for this neck of the woods. So you can even see we can just do something like that, right? Just kind of like an artificial seawall. Now that actually may be enough on its own. Just a little bit of that terrain being raised. It might help. Okay, still leaving it on 3-speed. I'm still confident that the longer we let this run, the better the outcome. I like how we just created a beach though. That's funny. Okay, back to business. Alright, so avenue with bike lanes. And let's actually go like a little bit further. Oh, you know what actually would be even more, even smarter here, is if we did a roundabout, and we can use one of our nifty tricks here. Okay, so let's erase these inner roads, and oh, I guess we have an option here. We'll use the tree line. That's a nice idea. Beautiful. And we're just trying to find the 45-degree, and I'm clicking about, you know, yay or so down. And then when I go find the next snap point, it just rounds it for me, and you end up with these really nice looking roundabouts. Very happy with this. And then what we can do from here is round these off. And like this could be our bike lane, say. I like that. Yeah. I'm gonna go the whole way out just for the sake of the symmetry now, but I'm gonna erase part of these so we have like an inner kind of community feel. Because especially on main roads, and I'll see this a lot when people are making their cities, is they'll start off where like a city or a neighborhood is like a small, like not too much traffic, and they'll put a lot of these kind of things in. A lot of roads just kind of end with like traffic lights close together. And then if this area like really expands, you just end up with too many traffic lights, and then traffic just won't flow. That's why we're doing that roundabout too. You can see, arguably, I think traffic, it moves pretty well in the city as a whole. Now, I think like the main reasons for that is we have a few corridors that are, you know, the 6 lanes, which have a higher speed limit. We have areas that maybe aren't zoned so much or as much as they could be, which kind of stops people from having to stop too often. I think we have like a well-placed highway network kind of going through the city. You can kind of tell like this interchange here, it's basically full, I guess is a good way to put it. So we may have to have an upgrade or like a bypass or just something down the road. And then like right here, for example, not everyone wants to turn left. Some people want to turn right. So even though we're going to lose a little bit of the speed, what we can do is upgrade this. We have the extra lane. So that way, if you want to go to the left, you just stick in the left lane. If you want to stick to the right, stick in the right lane. So that'll help people a little bit, so you don't get stuck in the queue. Because for most of your traffic, it just flow. I mean, you can only make your roads so efficient. But if you have a whole bunch of traffic lights, you can even see like this area here is maybe not the most efficient, right? And something we could do even is get rid of that. forces people to have to make a little bit of a wider turn to get over to here. But now that this intersection is only three-way, same with this one, three-way instead of having the fourth, the timing of the lights is a little bit faster. So theoretically, more cars can go through. So I think already we've made a little bit of an improvement just to this area. Anyway, so just, you know, space out your intersections. It's not the end of the world if you had maybe started with an approach like this. And then as the city grows, you might have to do a little bit of tinkering here and there, which is totally fine. But what I'll end up doing instead is... So I say we're kind of forcing people to use this avenue. We're going to force them to use that avenue. And then to get onto these roads, that's when we would have, say, like this. We want to make this an even number going in. So say about here. Perfect. And we'll just have our one-ways just go to that. And that way we're just kind of, maybe, you know, directing traffic where we want it to go. Not having to worry about having too many intersections or getting bogging down traffic on this main avenue. And then for the sake of symmetry, let's do the same thing over here. So we'll just line everything up. Awesome. Yeah, that's cool. I like that a lot. Okay, so as far as the school goes, just so we can kind of visualize this together now, I want that to be like right here. That's even, right? Cool. Oh yeah, look at that. Haha, yes! And then our parking lots around the school, and then we're gonna have like a little spot for like the transit turnaround. And we can maybe do that so that it's symmetrical and kind of in line with the back over here. And what we could even do, just for a bit of placeholder right now, just because we're kind of running out a little bit of time here. It's definitely not going to get this finished today. Is we can run a tram-only track along like this, and then that we can connect, you know, to the sides like that or something. Or we can find a way to bring one in through the side here and then have like a bike corridor on the other side. But just in general, we got to, you know, use some parking lots. Oh, of course, those don't fit. Darn it. Well, I think you guys know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, I think we're going to end things off here, guys. But great to be back. And this coincides perfectly with the water figuring itself out too, which is great. Yeah, you can see like a little bit of that terrain dip. That was kind of our initial culprit. Look at that. We got working trains, which are still going to have to be reworked a little bit because we're still a hint close over here, but I like it. Definitely coming together. And then, so yeah, we'll bring this train in, sneak one of the rails underneath here. We'll bring, well, that's what we can do. We'll have a set of trains come on the one side, and then we'll have the tram come on the other. And that way we have a little bit of symmetry. Hopefully I can remember that. Let's drop something right now really quickly for placeholder. Oh, and we can even do a tram-only track that's in line with this, just in case we bring that across one day. Okay, now can that line up over here? Okay, so that would be like that. I think that's straight. Okay, just like super placeholder, because I'm probably going to forget, and I want to make sure that I don't, because this is like a really cool idea right now. So yeah, that would go like that. Okay, but we'll figure that out so it's even. Hopefully when I load the map and look at this and be like, what on earth was I thinking? Then hopefully everything will just align and I can have my epiphany moment and be like, of course, I was going for symmetry. And then I'll delete this a million times and you know the MO. Okay, well that's it, guys. Thanks for coming back. Thanks for hopefully remembering me too. My goodness, it's been so long. Oh, goodness gracious me. How do these things happen? I'm going to try obviously not to let it happen again, but it's just jobs and everything else. Oh my goodness, real life getting in the way. But I am getting like, you know, closer to the point where I can do this full time. I feel it. I know it. There's a lot of you now, which is really great. So send some comments my way, send me some love. Help me out, guys. Do your best. You know what I mean? We're in this together here. All right, I'll see you in the next episode, guys. Drop me some suggestions. Really, this is awesome. I'm loving the way this is unfolding. Starting to look and feel like a bigger and like a real city in my mind. I'm loving this. You can kind of see like the final form almost taking shape. And then guys, let me know your thoughts. Maybe when we get all 9 tiles and finish the city, maybe we can try some mods. maybe we can download the 25 tile mod and just kind of get a little bit bigger. All right, guys, let me know your thoughts. But yeah, that's it for today. Great to be back. Hope you're having a great weekend, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. All right, guys, all the best. Take care of yourselves.